Welcome back to Jesters of Ravenloft, where a group of comedians try to escape the horrors of the mists. The troupe prepared for an impending fight. When drums started playing in the distant woods, Dell donned the Huntress's armor only to discover that it makes her worse at everything and she can't take it off. Tyler blamed himself for Dell's predicament and used himself as bait to lure in the demon gorilla Rage-narok. As combat began, Shadow Nemesis used his new ring of invisibility to strike at their foe, with the unintended consequence of appearing to be naked to everyone else, and New Rogue bounded away through the treetops to try to draw in some dinosaurs. Can Wet Change defeat Rage-narok and reclaim the fallen general's sword? I doubt it.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Jesters of Ravenloft. We are here. We are very excited to be back for our ongoing adventures. We are here. We are ready to journey into the mists. So, before we dive in, I will do a quick recap of everything that has happened on Jesters of Ravenloft before, in case there's anybody who has not journeyed with us. It's going to be kind of an overview. We've been doing this for more than a year, and we put out 2 episodes a week, so it's a lot. To take you back to the beginning of our story. I actually wrote this one down this week, so we're going to see how the script goes, or I may have to. Our story began with 3 comedians and their stage manager being sucked into Ravenloft, the D&D horror realm. They discovered they'd been summoned accidentally by Ezra, the god of the mists, and now they need to defeat Dark Lords and take their place to be able to set Ezra free and return home. During their time in Ravenloft, they've trained in traditional D&D classes and gained new powers and new curses because it's Ravenloft. Tyler has become a blade singer, a wizard who can kick your butt, though he will pass out if he receives even a single solid hit. A glass hammer, if you will. He also now has green skin, horns on his forehead, has a removable pinky, and can hear the voice of Ezra inside his skull. He's also befriended his very chill familiar Ivan, who helps out whenever Tyler summons him. Dell has become a visual bard. She blends her artistic talents and magic by using the reality blade, a weapon that lets her carve what she sees into the very fabric of reality around her. She can also summon and speak to ghosts. There's always an invisible wind flowing through her hair, and she's got reflective eyes like a dog catching light in the night. At all times. She's befriended Rumple Foreskin, a skeleton horse with fire in its heart named by Chat, who has joined the party in a quest to find their herd. Additionally, Dell has started dating a succubus from literal hell named Lucretia Sanguine, who looks like super goth Rihanna with wings and horns, and because of this, Dell has multi-classed into Warlock. Guy Bradford unfortunately died. However, his body was brought back to life with no memories at all. This new guy-like being has named himself New Rogue and become a cleric, dedicating himself to the god Ezra, who he believes is majestic and kind and good, no matter what evidence is presented to him otherwise. He has spectral ghost limbs from his hands to his elbows and his knees to his feet, along with his eyes, which all glow blue and kill anything they touch, except for Jack Magnum, a goat that was given to him by the mists. I wrote ghost. A ghost. That's not true. He's a goat. See? Look, he loves that goat very much, perhaps too much. Lastly, there is Adam, who became Shadow Nemesis. After a complete breakdown and discovering he has multiple personalities, Adam embraced the most evil one and has become a Saturday morning cartoon villain. He is trained as a barbarian on the path of the giant, so his limitless anger now makes him even bigger and stronger. He also gained a symbiote that lives inside him, which he named Shadow Master, who feeds on people's brains or by wasting people's time, and Shadow Nemesis really leaned into the brain eating. He gained the loyalty of a squire over his quests, as he claimed the title of the villainous Black Knight, but abused the little psycho so much that the evil Dr. Deputy now works for Dell, who renamed him Dr. Deputy Extreme. Our heroes defeated their first Dark Lord, and Shadow Nemesis struck the final blow, so he took the title of Dark Lord in that realm, which transformed into his own personal hell. So they immediately moved on to the second realm, where New Rogue became the Dark Lord, barely beating out Shadow Nemesis, who wanted a second crown. In this third realm, this is where we go off script now. In this third realm, our heroes have discovered that it seems to be a bit of a Groundhog Day scenario. There is a final climactic battle happening up on a mountaintop. I looked up the difference between a mountain and a hill, and these are probably mountains. They're just not super, super tall. But there is a final battle between a villain known as the Grave Walker and Prince Auric Bright Eyes. Our heroes have not yet made their way to this battle. Instead, they did a collection of what we could call side quests that made their way to a farm and claimed the Talisman of Ultimate Evil, a weapon that Shadow Nemesis has been swinging around on a chain to kill good people. They found the Sunblade, similar to a lightsaber only with the power of the sun, which is currently being wielded by New Rogue. And they were currently on their way to the Deep Caves because they had discovered upon entering this realm that Tyler looks very much like the General, a famed hero who is going to join this final battle. No one knows on which side, but the General's party had been ambushed and was missing the icon of Ravenloft and his sword, the Reaper's Scream. They tried to make their way to the caves where they heard an orc band had stolen the icon of Ravenloft, but their usually reliable guide, New Rogue, got confused and took them to the wrong place, so they're now battling a demon gorilla for the sword instead of the icon of Ravenloft. They've been eaten by owls and brought back and fought their way through things, and this is their 4th day, I believe.
Yeah.
In the overall time. And they've already found that as they return to the day at this point, they're starting later and later in the day with their earlier path locked in. So there's some concern about time, with Dell also having discovered that each day that passes in this realm is a month in the outside world. Our heroes have already been missing from Earth at this point for 13 months. This will be their 14th month of not being home. They're battling a gorilla. Dell had tried on armor, not knowing that it was cursed, at which point the armor stuck to her, has left her with disadvantage on pretty much everything, and she can't cast spells. She's also in sexy boob armor, but it doesn't fit, so her face is just in between where the cleavage should be. Shadow Nemesis is currently raging in combat. He tried on a new ring, which he used to turn invisible, and then came back to normal. He still sees all of his equipment and has no idea that anything is different, but he looks completely naked to every other member of the party. New Rogue is currently hopping away from combat, determined that he can turn off the drums he heard to get dinosaurs to show up. And Tyler has cast a series of spells ready to kick some ass. That's where we left things off. Do any of you have any continuity questions about our previous episodes?
It's perfect.
All solid plans.
It's all going right.
Yep.
Yeah, I let us
No
successfully to the
mistakes
deep
have ever
caves.
been made.
Exactly.
No mistakes here.
Deep caves of the human psyche.
And with that, it's time for us to return to Ravenloft. You are all engaged in combat with Rage-narok, or somewhere near that combat with Dr. Deputy Extreme standing on top of you, or leaping between the trees like Tarzan, determined to find a way to turn off drums and summon dinosaurs. But one of you is in the greatest mortal danger. Shadow Nemesis, you are raging. You have stuck the hat of rats on Rage-narok. He is covered in a swarm of rats that are biting and clawing, but he has turned his entire monstrous attention to you. He has declared that you will die, and he has started punching with his many, many arms. He will be making 3 attacks, so we will see which hit. The first is a 13.
No.
The second attack is a 17.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first, we'll get the full windmill and see what happens. Okay, the last attack is a nat 20.
No.
Limited by your adamantine armor. So that will hit, but it will not actually do crit damage because your Robocop-looking armor is made of adamantine. So
Right.
that gift from the mists has paid off more than anything else perhaps in this game in full assistance.
Thank you.
But you will, under this brutal windmill of attacks, you will take, with an atrocious roll. Okay, you will take 6 piercing damage as the claws and bony knuckles punch through your armor, which will be cut in half because you are raging and you have resistance. So that will become 3 damage.
Okay.
Which is an important thing for you to track on an ongoing basis. And then you will take 7 bludgeoning damage, which will again be cut in half to 4 from the larger fist that hammers into you. So you take 7 damage total from these fists as this gorilla just bashes into you. It is a kaiju fight of a 12-foot 3-armed demonic gorilla fighting a 10-foot raging shadow nemesis. Both of them not wearing clothes. It is a sight. It is an absolute sight. Now let's see what damage the rats do.
Oh, good. I was going to ask that. It's like these rats got to be doing something.
They are climbing. They are attacking. And the rats bite and will fail to do damage. So the rats are still crawling all over this gorilla, but they are not managing to pierce through its midnight blue skinned hide. Shadow Nemesis, you find yourself standing opposite this beast, your supremacy as a giant having been challenged. What do you do? Side note, I'm going to need 2 wisdom saving throws from you,
Yeah.
DC 15.
I was just about to say that. I was like, well, first I need to roll. All right.
The question to what do you do might be answered by the result of this roll.
It very likely will be.
It very well, yes. And it's a DC 15. My wisdom, as always, is a solid 0. So let's see. That's a 19.
Past the first one, you hang on to your sanity,
Well
keeping the thorns
done.
in the axe.
So he like bonks me on the head, and I'm like, not this time. And
then
then
the big fist slams into you from the side.
And then that one is a 17.
You are
This is the first
still-
time I did wisdom saves. I did it.
Great job.
I
You
do
are-
wisdom saves.
You're still yourself.
Hey!
What do you do, Shadow Nemesis?
Oh, well, like, hey, this monkey's pretty big, right? And he's pretty scary. So he's like, "Ooh," and he hits me, but I only took like 7 damage. So that's, it's not very impressive. So he's covered in rats, and I'm like, you call that a hit? Get a load of this. And I want to try to cut off these like extra arms he's got, because he's got the big arm and he's got those tiny little arms, or like the other 2 arms on the side. So I want to kind of like see if I can chop off his arms.
Great. Roll your.
Right.
You've got 2 attacks, I believe.
Yes, 2 attacks, and I will be double-handed. So
Great.
if I hit, I will deal 1d10 plus 5 damage.
All right.
But let's see. All right. Yeah, and it's like plus 7. So I roll and I add 7. So let's see what happens. What are you? That is a 13.
13 will not hit.
Oh, that's fine. I miss on purpose, and I'm like, ho ho. But this, and then I like do another swing. Oh, it went away. I'll use my other dice. That is a 16.
16 will hit. Roll your damage.
Ooh, okay.
The 2 arms cross to block you at one strike, and then you feint drawing back, but instead push further in the gap between the 2 arms into the side of Rage-narok.
All right.
What is
So
your damage, sir?
That is 1d10 plus 5. What are you? You're a 10. You are max damage 15.
Very nice.
Oh,
Jeez, did you grease your dice tower tonight?
I kept forgetting to grease it.
Oh, yeah, man.
And your sword cuts in a blow that you would expect to cleave off an entire arm, but instead it just sinks into the thick, nearly armored flesh of this giant gorilla. Blood flows. Clearly a blow has been struck, but this is a hardy creature that is just rearing up to swing at you. Combat continues between the behemoths. Del, Dr. Deputy has knocked you over, stood on top of you to protect you, missed with his bow, and has now suggested running away. You are hiding in a bush in armor that doesn't fit. What do you do?
yeah. Like, if Dr. W is extreme. It's not a bad idea. It's just like whatever you gotta do. I believe in you, and I use my bonus action to give bardic inspiration to Dr. Deputy.
Wow. And that's what is that? A D6 or a D8?
It's a D6.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I'm shuffling around in my pockets that are covered up by the stupid armor, and I pull out my Pokeball and I'm like, "Animal, go!" And I throw an animal.
All right. Can you roll me a D6?
I can. It's a 2.
It's a 2. A slightly larger rat than the other rat bursts out of the ball and looks up at you. What do you do?
I'm looking sideways from the ground at the battle, and there's gorilla, and then there is too much of Shadow Nemesis. I'm like, protect Shadow Nemesis. He's gonna need it. Why is he naked? I don't know. I'm not sure.
You see the rat cock its head and go, "Screek." Can you roll me an animal handling?
Sure, it's gonna be disadvantage. I'm assuming here because
You
of my
have
armor.
disadvantage on pretty much everything. Yes.
Oh, why? It was a nat 20 and then an 18. So my animal handling is a dirty 20.
That's
All
still
right.
good.
That is great. The giant rat somehow intuits through what you've said, looking at this combat, who Shadow Nemesis is correctly. It's not clear who any of these people are to a rat who is just summoned to the scene. But
fair.
it will be joining the initiative order, and it dashes forwards to make an attack against, oh man, giant rat versus giant demonic gorilla.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough
Does it
one.
get advantage since Shadow Nemesis is in combat?
So are the swarms. So yes, it will have advantage.
Ooh.
Rat
It rolled a
friend.
5 and a 2. I don't even need to look that up. It does not attack. The rat storms into combat and cannot get a grip. There are too many other rats involved, and he's dodging the footsteps of Shadow Nemesis. Turns out everyone is a danger to you when you are a giant rat and two 10 and 12 foot tall beings are battling hand to hand. Del, do you want to move or do anything else with your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to just start army crawling away from this disaster. Probably like 15 feet. I'm staying on the ground. I'm just moving away.
So you are 45 feet away from combat now instead of 30.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, you are 45 feet away from combat. So, Tyler, a giant rat has joined the fray. Del is fleeing, and a gigantic nude Shadow Nemesis is engaged in close combat with Rage-narok. You are behind him, about 15 feet from this swirling melee. What do? You have your mirror images up and around you. I believe you are also blade singing.
I am.
What's happening?
I'm going to keep my distance because I know that Shadow Nemesis could be set off at any moment. I'm going to stay as far back as I am now, but I'm going to start wheeling around so I can get a better angle on Rage-narok, and also so I don't have Shadow Nemesis in my line of fire. I would like to...
To paint the picture for you clearly, if you drift to the right, you are going between Rage-narok and Del. If you drift to the left, you are moving towards kind of an empty space where you don't have any companions. But if you go far enough, you're in a straight line to Del through Rage-narok. I don't know if that'll matter to you in terms of magical spells or not. You can position yourself to not do that. I just wanted to paint that clearly for you kind of on the compass.
Yeah, let's go wheel around to the left, but not so far that Del is on the other side of Rage-narok, sort of in the middle.
The 45 degree angle.
Yeah.
You know, if you were at 9, you're now kind of between 10 and 11 instead of going to 12. That makes sense.
Yeah. And talking to my familiar is an action to speak to it telepathically, I think.
Ivan, at this point, I will.
Oh no, it doesn't.
I didn't
say as an action.
I didn't say this last time, Tyler. So I will leave this up to you, unless you would have told him otherwise. Ivan has been told to swoop into the face of Rage-narok and try to be a distraction. So you can consider Ivan engaged in this combat, unless you want to tell him to do something else. So if you're looking for a way to get in with a touch spell or something else, he's there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want. I would start by asking Ivan. Ivan, when he grabbed me, did you see where he came from, or did he just appear out of nowhere?
Hey man, I think I think he came out of nowhere, man. He just seemed to be there. Oh man, you can hear him dodging.
Yeah. I'll say, okay, thanks, Ivan. Pull back, pull out of there. All the rats and everything, they're enough of a distraction. I don't want you to risk getting hurt. Thanks so much.
Yeah, man, it's nuts in here. Okay, and you see the bat fly clear and over in your vague direction.
Yeah. Okay. We have to assume he can teleport. Oh man. Okay. So he might zap out of there.
Can you roll me an Arcana?
Okay. Arcana plus 7. 19. There is another possibility that I think you would be aware of, having known Shadow Nemesis and his ring and other things. It's possible that Rage-narok can turn invisible. So it could be teleporting. You can't rule that one out. Invisibility is another possibility. Like there are those kind of questions, which is like, is it a portal? Was it a misty step? Could it have been, the dimension door? Or it could just be invisibility, are probably the top 4 suspects in your mind. Yeah. But having magical capabilities is concerning.
So if he can appear wherever he wants, let's try to still make this hard for him. I'm going to use a spell that I've had access to as a Hexblood, but I don't think I've used. Maybe I used it once against the lizard folk. I'm going to use the spell Hex. This is a warlock spell usually, but it is afforded to the Hexblood subclass, or the Hexblood lineage, I guess, is what we've been using. You place a curse on a creature that you can see within range. This is a concentration spell up to 1 hour. Until the spell ends, I deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to the target whenever I hit it with an attack. Also, I choose one ability. When I cast a spell, the target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen ability. I'm going to say his strongest ability is probably strength. So strength checks will be at disadvantage.
And nice. The only question I have for you is this a concentration spell?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so does your mirror image stay up? Is that a concentration spell as well?
It is not, remarkably.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Nope. This stands. So he will have disadvantage on any strength. You said any check involving strength, or just the saving
skill
throw?
Checks. So it's not saves. It's skill checks only. So that would only, I think, come into play here if it was like a strength check of like grappling or shoving and stuff like that, which I feel like maybe that happens.
Or athletics if he tries to run.
Yeah. Okay. That's true too. And I'm still just like, if Shadow Nemesis wants a piece of this guy and he's in there fighting him, then I will keep staying back for my action. I'm going to cast blindness, deafness, and I'm going to choose blindness. Rage-narok needs to make a Constitution save.
And as
Blind
you
gorilla.
Spell, the mist swirls up around you, jostling your vision. Can you roll me a d6?
I sure can. That's a 3.
And you fire off this spell that intrinsically would hit, but as the mist jolts your vision, you're just seeing two large naked figures. You can't quite figure out who it is. And your attack ends up being misdirected and hitting Shadow Nemesis. What does he need to roll?
A Constitution save. You got this. Con, you're good.
That's a +2. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Trying to beat a 15.
That's not a danger sense, is it? No?
Nope.
I guess not. All right. Can I beat a 15 with a 17? I can.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He remains sighted.
Yep. I know that I've fucked up once again kind of thing. Just like, oh, yeah. Oh, the beautiful headspace that my little self-loathing little horn guy is in right now. Is just so it's just like fuck, sorry, I know, sorry, just yelling that in middle fight, and I'll end my turn. I did move, bonus action, and action, so just apologizing, apologies all around.
Tyler is summoning magic and yelling apologies. New rogue, though, you aren't seeing any of this because you're 60 feet away, leaping from tree to tree, determined you can find a drummer and somehow stop them and make the dinosaurs appear.
Yeah. That's the plan.
At this point, I'm going to create a mechanic right now that I'm going to call the miracle die. I need you to roll me a d10 twice. And you either need to roll a 00 on both dice, like a d10 twice, or a 9 and then a 5 or more.
That's an 8.
Great.
That's a 7.
All right. You continue leaping. You can hear those drums just on the horizon. Can you roll me an insight check? I'm going to say with disadvantage because you were really, really sure when you started doing this.
Oh, man. Okay. That's the lowest one is insight, you say?
Yes.
That's going to be, sorry, that's a that's a 10.
That's a 10. They've got to be just a little bit further, and you'll definitely find one.
Oh, I'm about to hear him.
The drums keep beating in the distance, and you keep leaping from tree to tree, sprinting another 60 feet away from combat, leaving your friends battling a gorilla because you're sure drummers have to be right here. We'll take a quick commercial break.
Why is everybody?
New Rogue continues to leap off into the distance, completely out of sight of the rest of the party at this point in the dense foliage. But Dr. Deputy Extreme has been following you, Del, shadowing beside you.
You telling me I'm in charge, boss? I tried and I stunk it up.
That's fine. We're all sort of stinky every now and again. Just do whatever you think is right. All I have is animals.
All right, I keep following you, I guess.
All right.
Fuck you, gorilla.
He's going to take his shot. Oh, he rolled not great, but he does have a certain inspiration from his boss. Rolls a 2 on it. All right, what do you got?
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, he misses again. His stats are bad, and the weapon is now also holding him back. So he's taking a shot that misses combat very wide. The equivalent of hitting in golf and it going almost just straight left. It's a lateral hit instead of straight forwards as it flies out of the bow. And the bow yells something really uncool, Del.
Yeah.
What does the bow yell?
Kindness with no reward.
This bow's gonna make me barf. I hate this.
Yeah, I'll join the team. Ugh.
All right, so he's shadowing you as you continue to move away. While in the center of this field, Rage-narok, furious, reaches back and draws the sword with one hand. The large hand is now carrying the sword. The sword you've heard named the Reaper's Scream. Can I get a perception from you, Shadow Nemesis, and Tyler? Del, you can roll one at disadvantage to see what you can see of this sword.
15 for me.
That's an 18.
That is a solid 5.
Okay. For those of you who rolled not the best one, you see that there is almost a black smoke trailing this blade as it is lifted off the back, but you can't see the details. Tyler, I think you got the 15 on this?
I did get 15, yeah.
Yes, you're the furthest back, so it means you have the distance to be able to see this. There is almost a knotted bone hand guard over the end of this. It's like vertebrae over the knuckles with miniature rib cages, something sharp curving back over the hand, and a spiked bone bottom. And the blade itself, it's not quite serrated, but it goes out into these strange spikes, like a curved blade with 3 spikes along its length, crudely made but trailing this absolutely black energy. And Rage-narok strikes, simultaneously punching with his 2 free arms and bringing the blade down on you. Rage-narok is staring you in the eyes, Shadow Nemesis, as the two of you grapple and smash into each other. He's just kill, and he's bashing you with all of these weapons. So he is now going to attack recklessly, which means he will have advantage on his attacks.
Oh.
But anyone attacking him will also have advantage. So this has opened him up to the rest of the party as he loses control. He is going
I can
to
do that too. Yeah.
So he is going to batter his way forwards, holding you back, and slash the blade down to smash it into a certain giant rat who is in between their feet at the bottom of combat. He gets... It's a 24 to hit. That will definitively hit. He is going to do...
Low.
He does enough damage to carve that rat in half. Tyler, as you rolled high on this perception, what you realize is there is no blood spraying from the wound that has been slashed through this rat. Instead, it's almost as though the black smoke parted it and the rat has rotted from the wound outwards as it falls into pieces. And you note that Rage-narok's wound closes up.
Oh, is he healing? Oh, no.
Yeah, I will be calling that out. I don't know if I need to wait my turn or not, but I will be...
You can call it out now. I'll allow that as a free action as you see it.
I'll just say, the sword heals him.
Then attack him.
You say as you are punched by a gorilla. He will. That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh.
His other fist. Okay. Which will do. That will do 13 bludgeoning damage from the fist coming in and cracking you, which will be cut in half. So you will take 7 points of damage because this is his normal fist attacking. And then he is going to swing around with the blade at you.
Oh, man. How many attacks does this guy get?
That is a 19 to hit. He rolled the same number twice.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. This will do. This will be 11 points of damage, but you are taking 11 points of necrotic damage that you feel amped up even more. You can almost hear the screeing of a giant rat as this weapon slams into you, Shadow Nemesis, and it will add an additional 10 damage to this blow. So you suffer 23 necrotic damage as this sword, instead of cleaving through your armor or making a gash, you can just feel the parts of your body that it contacts as it swings through start to die immediately.
Oh.
Do you have any resistance to necrotic damage? I don't think so. I think that's just new rogue.
Here. Where would I even find that?
Yeah.
That's
If you don't know where to find it, you probably don't have it.
Yeah.
I like that Adam's reaction to this information is kind of just like intrigue. Like he's just looking forward to having this sword
Yes.
later.
Yes.
Really? So then what do I cut in half? If I'm raging, what do I cut in half?
You don't divide this in half at all because it's necrotic damage. You don't have resistance to this. So this blow will do 23 points of damage to you.
Well, that's pretty bad. All right.
You feel your internal organs withering and dying inside you as this gorilla pounds on you with fists and slashes you with this sword.
Oh.
Roll me that wisdom saving throw.
Yep. Do I roll it twice? Because I got hit twice, or I guess so.
Yeah, because you took the fist hit and you took the other. I need 2.
I like imagining that you're going, oh, consecutively.
First one's a 16.
That's a pass.
Oh, wow.
Here, this is back to normal. 10.
The thorns pour in from the axe, flooding through your chest, your face, up, covering your eyes into the nightmarish pattern that your friends have seen before, but you are unaware of. This scene shifts into your frenzied vision. What are you now seeing, Shadow Nemesis?
Well, I guess it's like, well, Gregor McMahon has to come out, so he has that had that biscuit card again, and like ew, 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 and he wheels it out, and he has the gramophone on it, and he's just like, "Ooh, fancy seeing you here, Shadow Nemesis. Have you met this gorilla?" And I look, and the gorilla kind of looks like, because it has like that top hat on, it kind of looks like Magilla Gorilla. So it's from like Hanna-Barbera. Yeah. So he had like the suspenders and the shorts, and he was like, he basically just looked like all the other Hanna-Barbera characters, except he was like a gorilla. So now I'm fighting in my head Magilla Gorilla as Gregor puts on the music, and it's the Pee Wee Herman like bam, 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 and so that's what I see, that's what I hear, and I'm like, not even your damn dirty ape can stop the Lord of Destruction. Then on my turn, I'll attack.
That is what he's hearing in his head. You all see him covered in thorns, and he starts screaming incoherent vowels as he froths at the mouth, lashing out. This is 2 giant animalistic gorilla-like forms now, battering each other, both of them so recklessly. There is no longer an art to this combat. This has stopped becoming a tactical experience. You're watching all training thrown aside, and it's like that moment in a wrestling match or a really weird boxing match where they both stop defending themselves and just start hitting each other as hard as they can, going almost punch for punch. That is happening in front of all of you right now. And then
The rats keep biting Rage-narok.
Hey.
They have advantage, which is wild.
Right. We all have advantage on them for the next round.
They... Oh man, so many stats to keep track of. And I just know Dell's going to throw more animals.
Correct.
Deep down in my heart. That is only a 14 to hit, which will not hit. So the rat swarm, even with advantage, cannot get through this demonic gorilla's hide. And we circle back to Shadow Nemesis. You see the biscuit cart. The music is playing. You're in Hanna-Barbera land. What do you do?
Quick question first. So the my bardic inspiration that I got last episode, do I need to like say I'm using it, or can I like roll garbage and then use it?
You can wait until after you roll the d20 before deciding to use the bardic inspiration. But you have to decide before I tell you whether you succeed or fail. So if you think the number is too low to succeed, you can decide to use it, but you can't wait for me to confirm like that's a no and then be like, okay. I'm going to add the dice.
All right. So just roll and then I go, wait. And then
Correct.
Okay.
Hell
That's
yeah.
like what the deputy did.
Can I use it on attacks? Like, can I, if I hit, can I?
It is an ability check, saving throw, or attack roll.
Ooh, so I could like up my attack. All right. Okay.
And you have advantage for your frenzied attacks. So what are you seeing in your mind? What do you think you're doing in your mind? And then describe for us what it looks like for everyone else who can see this combat.
I kind of shot myself in the foot because I said Magilla Gorilla, but I really just know the name. I don't know. I've never watched any episodes of Magilla Gorilla, but so I don't even know how he sounds. So I guess he's like, oh, hey there, Shadow Nemesis. You can go to fucking hell for all I fucking care. I don't know why he's swearing so much. And then
You're frenzied.
Yes, I guess. And then I already said my damn dirty ape line, but I think I'll say it again, being like, "Stop swearing at me, you damn dirty ape!" And then I'm gonna take double hand attack, and I'm gonna like chop. I'm gonna cut Magilla right in half.
Great. Roll for me with advantage, your first attack.
Okay, and I'll probably yell wait maybe. So just hold on a second.
I will not
Each
tell
of
you
these
anything.
is with advantage.
Correct.
So for each of your two attacks, roll the d20 twice.
Yeah. So I pretty beefed this. My highest was 9, so I won't use my inspiration because I think I remember the number being higher. So I'll miss, but then do I roll again with advantage?
So, okay, let's pause for a second. Your first attack, did you roll once or twice?
Twice.
Okay, then that one's a miss. Now for your new attack, roll twice because you have advantage on every attack you're making.
Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. Here we go.
You're both frenzying currently.
Yes. Okay, that's better. So that's a total of 25 to hit.
That will definitely hit. Roll your damage.
I want to use my bardic inspiration to add a d6 to my. I can't do that.
No,
My attack?
only the attack to attack to hit.
It can make you more likely to hit, but it can't make you do more damage.
Yeah,
Oh,
not that kind of bar.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. 1d10. 1d10.
You damn
Plus
dirty
5.
bard.
Eat. You damn dirty bard. What did I do? I was helping you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 14 damage.
14 damage. You manage to, with all of these strikes, lash down and hack into the shoulder of this gorilla. And you see, not only does this cause damage, but it reopens part of the previous wound. Can you roll me an Arcana, Tyler, as the person who's got the best vision on this? Dell, I would accept one from you as well because you have some experience with this.
Cool.
Total of 15 for me.
Oh. Arcana. 17 with disadvantage, which is incredible.
17. Okay. Tyler, you don't have as much experience, so you don't dive into this right away. But for you, Dell, because you do have some understanding of this, your guess is
killing things with that sword is giving temporary HP. It's not fully healing Rage-narok in the same way, but it's boosting him for combat. So if he can keep killing, he can keep topping up his whatever his health total ends up being as it goes down.
Yeah. Sweet.
And that leads us to, as he continues to scream, the giant rat is, that's after Del, but it's dead. Del, you see this, you realize what you think is happening as this is going forwards. You are 45 feet from combat in your uncomfortable armor with the Dr. Deputy Extreme. What do you do?
Yeah, this is all gone to shit. And as is typical, I'm like, animal again. And I use my action to throw out another animal. I'm going to run out of animals, but.
Can you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Yes. And that's also with disadvantage, right? Saving throws, yes.
Yes.
It is 6.
You're nailing it. This is the only plan you've got. It's your only option.
It's all
Roll me a d6, and we will find out what creature joins this combat after this quick break. Del, what animal bursts out of your Pokeball? Let's find out. What did you roll?
I rolled a 4.
A 4. Okay, that means you have summoned with the great old a boar appears out of ready for combat. What do you tell this boar to do?
Oh, thank God you're here. Boar, go attack the giant gorilla over there.
Off he goes, just bolting off to attack. We've got the boar. Okay, the boar is sprinting forwards. The boar's move is...
Can it get there? We don't know.
This is an interesting question, Del. The boar's movement speed, if we're going to get technical, I'm going to get technical and we're going to go back to narrative. A boar can only move 40 feet, which means you would have had to throw the Pokeball closer to Rage-narok than you currently are for it to get there and attack.
Yes.
But that means you would have to move back closer to the gorilla instead of just moving away. Would you do that, or are you throwing it here and just continuing to retreat and huck the Pokeball directly at the ground so it's always with you?
No, I think I'm going to throw the Pokeball that far away and then wait for the pig to run off.
Yep,
and then I'm army crawling 5 feet to get my ball.
Great, you have your ball. Are you continuing to move away as this happens?
No, I'm just like I'm laying there and I turn it, Dr. Deputy Extreme. Maybe you could see if you get some of the armor off. I don't know. I don't want to be in this. I'm just.
Wait, you want me to take your armor off or my armor off?
No, it's getting in the way, and I'm just.
I thought it was stuck. Could we just take it off the whole time?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll try. Just a second.
All right, the boar is attacking because it's the boar's turn. Holy shit! Rolling an 18 on the first roll. Let's fit for that. Nope. Double 18s. This boar is very determined to do what it does, which means it is rolling a 21 to hit, which it will definitely hit.
Yeah, boar. Yeah, boar.
Fuck yeah, little Borovic. Fuck yeah.
Okay, the boar will do 3 points of slashing damage with
Fuck
its
you,
tusks.
boar.
And it will also do, because it is charging, it moved at least 20 feet and hit with a tusk attack on the same turn. So the target will take an extra 3 damage.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Nice.
And the target has to pass a strength saving throw, which it has disadvantage on due to the hex.
No, it's a save.
Skill
No, it's
check.
fine. It's all these skill checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll find out if he can pass this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he rolls a 25. He's doing fine. So he is in no risk from getting knocked over by a boar. The boar is now engaged in combat.
Hell yeah.
Up next, new rogue. You are dashing away from the combat, looking for a drummer. Can you roll me a d10?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
You want a 0 or a 9?
It's a 0, baby.
Yeah.
I need you to roll me that d10 again, and you got to roll another 0.
Yeah, that's a 6.
Okay, now roll me an insight with advantage.
Okay.
Because there was a miraculous.
Well, that was a 20, and then it turned into an 8. So 1 second.
Good advantage.
Advantage, not disadvantage.
Advantage.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
Oh, you mean
It was
rolling on the dice.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so let's add this on. So that's a insight. Come on, man. That's an 11.
11 is enough at this point. So to clarify these die rolls, because I like things to make sense. There was a the D100 was if it was a 95 or more, there could have been a drummer. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it was going to be a miracle. Then the insight roll, which is important for you as you keep running away from combat and you realize the drums sound just as far away now as they did before. Which means as your hand just brushes against your rod of double checking, these drums may actually be far away in the distance because the drums are attracting the dinosaurs, not repelling the dinosaurs. So you would have to go perhaps a mile, perhaps more to get to a drum.
Oh, man.
I say keep going.
Wait a sec, Jack. We're going too far. And we're not getting to the dinos or the drummers. You knew that this whole time? Well, then why'd you let me keep on going if you thought I was acting stupid? Because you wanted me to learn a lesson? This isn't a time to learn lessons, pal. Wait. You really? There might be dinosaurs not near the drums that the drums aren't reaching? And maybe if we drum right here, right now, we could pull in some dinos to us? You're right. The sticks on these trees do look like drumsticks. Yeah, you bet your ass I'm gonna tear them off and tear some drum skin. You ready, buddy? Blow on these, pal. We're gonna make a drum. I don't know. What do we make a drum out of? You don't know? Oh, fuck. Okay, so we need to get, you said, hold on. We need to get like some like cloth or something that can be made into a rigid surface, and it needs to be put over like some sort of base that's hollow. Okay, well, what do I have? Let me check in my bag here. Okay, so I got my bow. I got I got my armor. I got this Bjorn.
Can you roll me an insight?
Oh. Yeah, man, that's a dirty 22.
Ooh.
Dirty 22. You have two options if this is your strategy. One, if you can cast thaumaturgy and just wail on a tree, if you can figure out a tree that's hollow, you could get a very loud sound. The other option is, because you know that these dinosaurs have been attracted to things in this environment that have stood out, you could use your wand of gusting, because every once in a while it does something other than gust. And if you fired that either straight up into the air or into the jungle, if it gave a signal, it could draw maybe dinosaurs in.
I'm thinking, great minds think alike, DM. I'm thinking, you know what? Why not do two things at the same time? So I'm going to use one of these sticks that I tore off, and I'm going to use my sunblade, and I'm going to be like, well, if this full sun setting makes a lot of sun, then, well, it's dark almost in the jungle. I'm going to just use one of these sticks, and I'm going to use my sunblade. I'm going to turn up the sunblade. I'm going to crank the sunblade up to full sun. So there's a sunbeam, and I'll blast that, wherever, and that will get some attention. Meanwhile, while I have the sunbeam and the stick, I'm going to hit a hollow ass tree. So we'll have sound and display, and hopefully some dinos.
And we will find out if that happens next episode.
That's the end end of this episode, listener, but next week you could become a watcher and affect the Jesters' adventures by joining our Twitch stream, which happens every Wednesday night. If you join our Twitch chat, you can give the cast magical items, name NPCs, and decide the events that shape Ravenloft. So, catch up on the story, follow Dum Dum Dice on Twitch, and join our weekly stream right away. Jesters of Ravenloft features the voices of players Tyler Hewitt, Borovic, Guy Bradford, and Adam McNamara, alongside Dungeon Master Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Jesters of Ravenloft's artwork was created by Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is Dark Mysterious Halloween Night by Sound Gallery by Dimitri Taras, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, whose music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Now get out of here before the mist gets you too!
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Dragonfly, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Beef Not Cheese, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Adam, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, Alex LaFountain, Mickey Blake, Seth Cambron, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.